Hello everybody! I thought we'd have another look today at another one of the maths activities from the home learning packs, and I thought today we'd have a look at activity 9, which is all about areas and perimeters. So here it is, activity 9 in your home learning packs, which either your parents picked up for you or was delivered to you, or you can find them on the school website. So for this activity, it says that you will need a piece of paper, I guess where to write everything down, a ruler or a tape measure. Okay, if you've got a ruler, have a look at the units that are on it. On this one, we've got centimetres and millimetres on one side, and then on the other side, we've got inches, which we don't really use in school, but it's good to know about. If you don't have a ruler or a tape measure at home, in the back of the pack, there isn't a ruler, but there is this number line, which you could use as units of measure. So they're not exactly 1 centimetre, but you could use that as 1 centimetre, 2 centimetre, 3 centimetre, 4 centimetre, 5 centimetres, and so on. And it does go all the way down to 100. So the first thing it says to do is to find lots of different items around your house and make a list that you're going to find the area and the perimeter of. So I've just been around my house quickly and found a selection of things. So I've got a mat for a drink, I've got a book, I've got a couple of different books, so a couple of child there, thing, and then good old wonder. I've got a couple of games that I thought I could use, jigsaw box, just quite large, some DVD boxes, there's a picture frame, post-it notes might be good to estimate the area and perimeter. I've got a chopping board. You could even use your table. That would be a good thing to use. You could use a doormat, or even you could even use the door, I guess. You could have a look in your kitchen cupboards and see what boxes or packets you've got there. You could even use, I guess, the kitchen cupboard door. That would work. So once you've found all of your items, I think it said 16 for the year 5, so it says 20 for the year 6s. You then need to create yourself a table. Now I've done this very, very quickly, so I put my item, I've put an estimate column and an actual column, and then I've got a space to write the area and then a space to write the perimeter. So then what are area and perimeter? Some people might not be able to remember because it's a long time ago since we looked at this. So area and perimeter are a way that we can measure or look at 2D shapes, so flat shapes. So the area is the space that is inside a shape, okay? And then the perimeter is the measurement of the outside of the shape all the way around. So the way that we find the area is if we said that this rectangle was 6 centimetres long and 3 centimetres wide, for our area we would do 6 times 3, which gives us, everybody should know the 6 times tables, 18 centimetres, because that's the unit we're using, and then we would say centimetres squared, because we are multiplying this dimension, the length, by the width. So we're multiplying those dimensions, so it will give us 6 times 3 equals 18 centimetres squared. For the perimeter, that is the measurement all the way around the outside of this shape. So we don't times them, but we've got 6, add 3, add another 6 and another 3. We've got 4 sides to this rectangle, so we need 4 measurements. So 6 add 3 gives me 9, 6 add 3 gives me 9. So the perimeter of this shape is also 18, but it's just centimetres, not centimetres squared, because we're not multiplying anything this time. So I'm going to start with estimating the size of this picture frame. Now, I've got my ruler here, but I'm not going to measure it because I'm estimating. But I can see that this picture frame is longer or taller on the table than my 30 centimetre ruler. So I'm going to estimate that this picture frame is 40 centimetres by, wide. I'm thinking about my ruler again, so that's 30. I think it's a little bit longer. Possibly, if I hold that up to it, that's probably cheating a little bit, Emma. 40 times 32. Okay, so that would be my area. I'm going to work that out in just a moment. So if that's what I'm estimating my dimensions are, 40 centimetres by 32 centimetres, I can write that for my perimeter. So I can write 40, add 32, add 40, add 32. So I now need to work out what my estimated area is. So I've got myself, I can use this bit of scrap paper here. So I've got 32 multiplied by 40. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to do 32 multiplied by 4. It's 4 times 2, it gives me 8. 4 times 3 is 12, so that's 128. But it's not just multiplied by 4, it's multiplied by 40. So that means that gives me 1,280. So the area or my estimated area is 1,280 centimetres squared. I then need to work out my estimated perimeter. So I had as estimated the dimensions I had. I'll use my scrap paper again. So I had 40, add 32, add 40, add 32. Well, I can see that these two together give me 72. So I can double 72. So 72 add 72 gives me 144 centimetres. So my estimated perimeter of my picture frame is 144 centimetres. So then comes the actual measurements of my photo frame. So this is where you're going to need your ruler or your tape measure. So I'm going to line it up and make sure that I line it up properly. So I've got, I was right, it is greater than 30. Well, this is a bit tricky to do holding the camera. So 30 takes me to, I'm going to line that up there, just about there, and then I'll move my ruler, line up my 0 with that mark again. So the actual length, got that right? The actual length of my photo frame was 40. I'll line that up properly. Just under 40. Wow, pretty good. Or 39.5, so I'll write that one down. And then my actual width I measured was 34 centimetres, so then that means that my perimeter is 39.5, add 34, add 39.5, add 34. So to work out the actual area of my picture frame, I've got to do 39.5 times 34. Oh, this is a tricky one because this involves a decimal. So I think I'm going to use my knowledge slightly, and I'm going to change this to 395 times 34, which is going to need some long multiplication for this one. So I'm going to start here. So I'm going to start with 395 times by 4. So I know that 4 times 5 is 20. Hang my 2 on the maths table. 4 times 9 is 36. Add my 2 gives me 38. And 4 times 3 is 12. Add 3 gives me 15. I'm then going to do 395 times 30. So I'm going to cheat slightly because I know I'm multiplying by 30. I'm going to put my 0 in. 0 in here, my place saver. And then I'm going to multiply by 3. So 3 times 5 is 15. Cross that 2 out so I don't mix myself up. 3 times 9 is 27. Add 1 is 28. and 3 times 3 is 9, add my 2 is 11. And then I need to add together those two products. 8 add 5 is 13, 5 add 8 is 13, add my 1 is 14. That'll be 3, 1, 2, 3. So the actual area is 13,430 centimetres squared. Does that sound right to you? No, it doesn't, does it? Because remember, we changed our 39.5 to 395. So I need to divide this by 10. So that will give me 1,343 centimetres squared. So the actual area of the photo or the picture frame is 1,343 centimetres squared. That's not too bad, not much of a difference. What's that? 63, a difference 63 centimetres from my estimate to my actual. You could do that, you could find out the difference. You could work out what your difference was between your estimate and your actual, and then I need to work out the perimeter as well. So I added together 39.5, add 34. Make sure that you line up your digits properly. If you want to put in a 0 to help you, you can do. So that gives me a total of 73.5. I then need to double that. So 73.5, add 73.5. So 5 add 5 is 0. Oh, gives me 1, gives me 7. So my perimeter is 147 centimetres, which my estimate was 144, so I'm pretty close. Again, you could work out what the difference was between your estimate and your actual. So we had a difference there of 3. You would then repeat this with all of the different things that you listed. So I'm going to have a look here at my Sneaky Sharp. Now I know that that is a lot smaller than the photo frame, so I'm going to estimate that that is 15 centimetres by nearly square, but not quite. I'm going to go for 15 centimetres by 14 centimetres. So if I fill it in on my table, I've got 15 multiplied by 14, and then down here I would have 15, add 14, add 15, add 14. So I worked out what my area would be by doing 15 times 14, which will give me 210 centimetres squared. And then I worked out what my estimated perimeter would be by doing 15 add 14, add 15, add 14. So I know that 15 add 15 is 30, 14 add 14 is 28. So I added those two together to get 58 centimetres. I then need to measure to do the actual. So I'm going to use my ruler. Let's have a look. Oh my goodness me. Look at that. Not quite 15, but I think I'm going to round it to make it a little bit easier. You could challenge yourselves and go for 15.2 if you wanted for the actual, or you could round it. So I'm going to go for 15 on here. And then let's have a look at the other dimension. Oh my goodness me. Look at that, 14. I'm going to round it. Oh, no, it's a bit hard to do with the camera. Just under 14, so I'm going to round that one up to 14. Now, I already know what 15 times 14 is because I've done it over here with my estimate. So I know that that is 210. And then my perimeter is 15, add 14, add 15, add 14, which I know gives me 58 centimetres. I forgot to write centimetres squared up there. So you can see that those two are very similar. If you want to challenge yourselves, you could use, that would be, ooh, let's have a look, 15.2 maybe. So you could challenge yourselves to challenge your multiplication skills. That would work as well. And if you wanted an extra challenge, you could work out the volume of these boxes. So year 6s, we have looked at this. So to work out the volume of something, we multiply together the length by the width by the depth. So you would have 3 dimensions. So you could always look at the volume of something, which is